I have made it to the end of my Reddit journey, and as I cover the last few comments, I would just like to say that I'm proud of the type of content I've been able to make over the past 6 months. And although I haven't had any subscribers or viewers really, I'm just proud that I've been able to do the type of content I want to do. And I hope that at some point in the future, you are able to watch my content, or the people are able to watch my content and derive some sort of benefit from it. And that's really the intention behind all of these videos. It's hard to show you my intention because it's often something you have to see through people's actions, and I'm hoping that through all of my videos you've been able to see that. It's just my intention is just to contribute to the betterment of society, and I feel like this is one of my best ways I know how, sharing knowledge that I've learned and try provide some positive things to the environment and to the world. So I just hope that it's been beneficial. I hope that there's something that you've learned from all of this. So the first question I'm going to cover is, what's the self-help book that changed your life? One great book was As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. It presents thoughts as a potential benefit or barrier to your growth, depending on how you use or control your thoughts. A very insightful read for someone interested in personal development and positive growth. So with these self-help books, a lot of them I've covered in my Book Insight series, so make sure you check that out. I think it's around anywhere between 40 to 45 now. It's a lot of insights there for you to check out. If you're interested in those books, check out the books also. But definitely As a Man Thinketh is a great book. How do I stop hating myself? 2 things might be able to help. Positive affirmations will help you consciously start an influx of positive thoughts and believe about yourself, which is the best counter to negative thoughts. Also, picking up hobbies that you like and that are new to you can be a great way to occupy your time and make it more enjoyable, giving you more reasons to smile than to be sad. So, picking up hobbies that you were interested in before and wanted to try, but things prevent you from doing so. Trying those out is a great way to start getting you using your time in a way that benefits your mental health. And also, positive affirmations is just a gateway to saying good things about yourself in a conscious manner, in a way that you are intentional about saying these good things to yourself to boost your morale and to almost fill up your car tank, which is your brain. Fill up that engine in your brain to get you doing positive things, thinking good thoughts, following that up with good actions and good words. Next one, I think it's time to give up. I go through this topic quite often on my YouTube channel. The key to become more of a positive thinker and growth-minded person is effort and conscious changes in your thoughts and behavior. The truth of the matter is that your mind will form strong resistances when faced with change and potential effort to achieve something worthwhile. These resistances comes in many forms: negative thoughts, procrastination, self-doubt, comparing yourself to others unfairly, fear, jealousy, laziness, etc. The key thing to remember is that you will face resistance from your mind, your own self, on your journey to change your thoughts and habits. If you already have methods to change, then you are in a good place because you have some tools and knowledge. However, it is important not to give up when you are faced with resistance. Your mind wants the easiest way and the path of least resistance, so it will rationalize ways to avoid making that positive change that requires effort and time. Don't fluster and keep pushing. Many of us struggle to, but keep the end in mind. You got this, I believe in you. It's very important to find the right balance in allowing your desire for your goal to overcome your fear of failure, or your fear of trying, or your fear of continuing. And that balance is often thrown in the loop because it's often in the favor of fear. we often fear more than our desire, which leads us to quit. The resistance is something that is natural to us. It's often the thing that comes in our way when we choose a path of effort and time and challenge. But after you begin to understand that these things are natural, you become less afraid of tackling these things because you know that this is a natural reaction for our brain. So you become more, well, at least me, I became more comfortable in facing these challenges head on and overcoming these things. It's just important to also build a community around yourself. Try build a positive environment that promotes positive thinking and growing and helping each other when we're down. That is something that I've overlooked and something that can definitely help you in the long run. Build a good system around you, build a good group of friends, and have family that support you, and that could be one great way to help you. So, we're going to cover these last two questions. How to stop that feeling of being behind in life. A few things come to mind when reading this. Don't compare yourself to others unfairly. Instead, use yourself as yourself. Use yourself versus yourself as a starting point. Allot time during the week to focus on personal development, goal creating, journaling, reading, finding your purpose, listening to your interests, trying new hobbies, socializing with others, and more things. Lastly, separate action and knowledge. Knowing is one thing, taking action is another thing. So dedicate a fair amount of time for both things. On that last point, it is something that I get confused sometimes, but knowing is one thing and applying your knowledge is another thing. And oftentimes, well, at least it happened a lot in the past few years, but I would confuse the both and I would assume that me knowing something means, oh, I've applied it, and I'd end up not applying the knowledge from reading the books. But separate the two. And once you start to separate the two, then you can really start to progress because you'll know when you're just learning something versus when you're actually applying that knowledge. And the other things I've mentioned, like don't compare yourself to others and find that path for yourself and understand that you have your own lane and that's the best lane to be in because any other lane is not the lane that you belong in. And that's where comparing yourself unfairly begins to become a problem for you because you start to look at what other people have, compare it to what you don't have, and allow feelings like envy, jealousy, fear, and anger to take control of you. But once you really focus in on yourself, then you can find the real points of improvement and the points of praise and the points of criticism. That is the fairest point to start at because if you start off by comparing yourself to everyone else, you become very accustomed to doing this unfairly and picking the highest percentage of people, the people with the lowest chances of circumstances that you will never be able to put yourself in. You start comparing yourself to people that are very talented or very lucky and you put that all on yourself, a lot of pressure on yourself that is not justified. That's why I say to start comparing yourself versus yourself as a starting point. And the next thing I mentioned was to spend time during the week on personal development. And this time that you spend should be time that you dedicate to personal development and you fit into a schedule where you say, for example, on a Wednesday for 30 minutes, I'm going to do one activity that I can do that promotes personal development, that I improve my knowledge or my skills or my health in a certain way. And it requires a intentional decision, and that's the kind of the best way to go about it because that's when you are very focused in on it and you'll be more inclined to stick to that routine and check the progress and review things you can improve. So I believe it's the best way to do it. There are many things you can do, and that personal development is not something that requires you to sit down in a black room by yourself and cry all night, or at least that's what I used to envision it as something that's just quite self-driven and it can be doing the things you enjoy, doing things that you enjoy, like trying out new hobbies, socializing with people, finding your purpose, reading, journaling, trying out many different things, and in the process, improve your life, improve your circumstances, improve your knowledge, help those around you, and many more things. The last question is, what's the healthiest decision you have made in your life? My answer, and my final answer from my Reddit comments, is when I decided to make a habit of helping others.